Have you ever had a friend who drifted away, and you wondered, did they ever think of me again? Imagine that feeling, but across 100 years. This is the heart-wrenching and heartwarming story of Sudama and Krishna, a story that shows us that even the poorest man's love can be priceless, and even the supreme God waits humbly for true friendship. Before we dive deep into this divine tale of loyalty, poverty, and spiritual wealth, take a second and subscribe to Krishna's voice today. If you love stories that move your soul and connect you with Krishna's eternal love, you won't want to miss what's coming. Sudama was a poor Brahmin, living in utter poverty. His house was more a hut made of broken sticks than a home. His children cried with hunger, and he had no means to feed them. His wife, a pious and loving woman, often told him, "You were once the classmate of Lord Krishna, the king of Dvarka. Why don't you go and ask him for help?" But Sudama would simply smile and say, "How can I go to him for help? Our friendship was pure. I can't taint it by asking for wealth." Even in his hardship, Sudama's heart was filled with gratitude, not complaints. This is the first lesson Krishna teaches us through Sudama: real love asks for nothing. Yet eventually, seeing his family in deep distress, Sudama agreed to visit Krishna. His wife tied some beaten rice, poha, in a torn cloth as a humble gift, knowing that Krishna had loved it in their childhood. Sudama walked for days barefoot, through heat and dust, with only Krishna in his heart. Pause here for a moment. Think about this. Would we go to a billionaire friend empty-handed? Would we even expect them to welcome us? But Sudama didn't go with expectations. He went with love. If this story is already touching your heart, like this video and share it with someone who needs a reminder of what true friendship looks like. When Sudama reached the gates of Dvarka, he stood outside Krishna's palace in torn clothes, dusty and tired. The guards mocked him. "Who are you, beggar?" But when Krishna heard that Sudama had come, he ran. Not walked, ran barefoot across marble floors to embrace him. The king of the universe, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, held Sudama's feet with his own hands. Tears flowed from his eyes. "You came, my friend," he whispered, trembling with joy. In front of queens and ministers, Krishna washed Sudama's feet and seated him on his royal throne. This is Krishna's love. This is Bhakti. It doesn't care for appearances or riches. It only responds to purity. So many kings and sages visited Krishna, but no one received the welcome that poor Sudama did. Why? Because Krishna was waiting for Sudama for over 100 years. That's right, 100 years. Now here's a question. What kind of love waits 100 years? What kind of friend holds a poor man's feet, even when the world calls him a beggar? That is Krishna's love. Unconditional, unchanging, and beyond time. Before we continue, if this story is giving you goosebumps, comment Radha Radha below and let me know your favorite moments so far. Your support helps us bring more heartfelt stories to life. Sudama, overwhelmed by Krishna's affection, could barely speak. He didn't ask for anything. He hid the beaten rice out of shame. But Krishna, all-knowing, took the dry rice in his own hands, smiled, and ate it with joy. "This is the most delicious meal I've ever had," he said. Do you see the message here? Krishna doesn't need gold, flowers, or rituals. He only looks for bhav, your feeling, your love. The poorest offering, when given with pure devotion, becomes the greatest treasure. And here's the most beautiful part. Sudama never asked Krishna for help. Not once. He spent his time talking about their school days, reliving childhood memories. Yet when Sudama returned home, he found his hut transformed into a palace, his children well-fed, his wife smiling. This is how Krishna gives, silently, selflessly, and abundantly. If you believe in Krishna's magic, in the silent blessings that come from true devotion, then hit that subscribe button right now. Join our community of Bhakts who walk this path together, one divine story at a time. You may wonder, why did Krishna wait so long? Why didn't he go to Sudama first? The truth is, Krishna never leaves anyone. But he also values free will. He waits for us to come to him, to open our hearts. And when we take one step, he runs 1,000. That is divine friendship. This story is not about the gift or the palace, it's about faith. Even when Sudama had nothing, he carried no complaints. Even when he had no money, his heart was filled with wealth. And Krishna, the Lord of all creation, bowed to that wealth. So, if you ever feel like God isn't listening, remember Sudama. Maybe it's not that he's late. Maybe he's waiting for you to take the first step. And if this touched you, take that first step today. Like, share, and subscribe to Krishna's Voice today and help us spread the message of divine love to the world.